And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of Evil Live. A very, very special episode. We're doing our top 7 slashers with some amazing, amazing guests tonight. Thank you for everybody rocking out in the comments. I see y'all. I see y'all slid through early. Cray Dre, Mark, Mike, Sylvester. What's up? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Michael, we got Michael in the comments. We got Jaleesa, Miss Taylor in the comments. We got Stan. Thank you for stopping by, Stan. We got Whitney. Thank you for stopping by. We got Tommy in the building, Black Horror Survivor. Thank you for stopping by. It's a packed house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got some of my favorite, horror content creators, and I've spoken with all of these people, and they're just amazing, amazing talents. So if you're not following them, the links to their just the links to their the description, the links the links will be in the description. Happy 420, people. The links will be in the description no later than no later than tomorrow. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but yes, the links will be down there, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to get it started. We're going to be introducing people one by one in no particular order. We got well, actually, I should stay in order because I'm a little toasted right now. So we got we got from Jupiter with Love, ladies and gentlemen, horror content creator, just all around awesome content creator, awesome person, very, very vibrant, very positive energy. Thank you for stopping by, Jupiter. How you feeling
Thank you so
tonight?
much for having me. Thank you. I'm so excited. When we first met up in September, I told you slashers is my favorite subgenre, so I'm really excited to see everyone's picks. It was very hard and happy to be here.
Yes, yes. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. We also got my sister in this horror thing, Miss Bianca, Spooky Melanin Magic. How you feeling
Hey,
today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling great. You already know.
I already know what time it is. I'm ready.
Yes, yes. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. We got Angelica, aka She's Psychotic, in the
Hi.
building. And I'm sure y'all have seen her content all over the internet, high quality stuff. And she's another amazing person. I've got everybody on the panel tonight is an amazing person. Thank y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for stopping by. We got Alex Arson in the building tonight. How you
And
feeling tonight, Alex?
so far, so good, bro.
Oh yes, oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh yeah, screenwriter slash author, in the building tonight. Horror content creator, horror flicks and chill. Make sure you check out his YouTube. This man is creating music as well. So shout out to Alex Arson in the building tonight. We got Lydia in the building tonight. Mama Monster. Hey, how are you tonight, Lydia?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm ready to
Yeah,
I'm ready to
we
have
we can
fun.
see that.
I'm ready to have some fun. I'm ready to have some fun. But
Same.
thank you for stopping by tonight. Thank you. And then we also have Gore, etc. in the building tonight. How are you
Hey,
feeling tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for stopping by once again. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. So we're gonna get it started. We're gonna get it started. Let's get everybody on the screens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get everybody on the screens. So, and thank you, Mika, for stopping by. I see you. I see you. Thank you, Kara, in the building as well. Thank you for stopping by. So, it's the topic for tonight is top 7, you know, uh, slasher, films in our opinion, and this is a safe space, so you can say like whatever you need to whatever your opinion is, like it's safe here, like no one's going to drag you or anything like that, for your opinion tonight. Now I wanted to start off with asking everybody, like, what makes a good slasher? to everybody in the building tonight. So I'm gonna start with you, Lydia. What makes a good slasher?
Well, first, I just love good chase scenes, but me personally, I am all about the blood, gut, and gore. Guts. I said gut, but you know what I mean. I love it. I love all the effects. So
Y-
that for me,
yes,
that's it. That's all I need.
that's all you need.
I
Straight,
don't I
straight
don't
like
need a good I don't need a good dialogue or anything. I just need you know.
straight like that. Straight like that. I love it. I love it. What about you, Bianca? What makes a good slasher for you?
So for me, definitely blood, 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 blood. And I love a good, like, something diabolical, like something that's like, what's coming next? What's gonna happen? Like, I just need some twisted, sick, super gore killing. That's just, it's perfect.
Gotcha. Well, that's all you need, especially with the gore, because the gore is definitely something that's important. You know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, Angelica, she's psychotic. How does what makes a great slasher for you? Oh no, you got your mic off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. With definitely the gore, and I love suspense too. I really love
Yes.
suspense. Mhm.
Yes. A good suspense. A
Good
good
suspense,
suspense.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. I like that. I like that. What about you, Alex? What makes a good slasher for you?
It's a few things. Definitely a chase scene. A chase scene is awesome.
Yes.
Uh, a great body count. That's what really, for me, makes it a slasher. It's one by one. Um, seven, maybe 10. I think you get a couple of teenagers, in a cabin, or they're after school somewhere, a party, something like that, and they get knocked off one by one. You're definitely dealing with a slasher right there.
Mhm.
Usually there's a motive for why all of this is going on. So someone's in a mask, going around doing something for a reason that we don't know just yet. And then it's like a backstory to kind of give us why we're dealing with what we're dealing with. And a final girl, definitely. And that's the recipe for me for a slasher movie right there.
Yes, I like that. I like that. The recipe. The recipe.
That's
Yes. Yes. And what's your recipe, Gore, for slashers?
Definitely the suspense. I just love a good chase, and probably like that final punch that just nails the kill. I just love for that to be just grotesque, like ooh. So that's it for me.
Yes, yes. I like that. I like that. That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. What about you, Jupiter? What makes a great slasher for you?
I'm gonna echo Alex a little bit because I'm a very emotional person, so I'm all about the story of the killer. I love to see the backstory. I love how, when it's a franchise, we learn more and more about the history. And of course, like everyone said, it's all about the kills. I love some really creative kills in my slasher flicks. So that's really what I'm looking for in a slasher movie.
Yes, I love it. Creative kills. I love it because that's what is gonna take me like over. Like if I see a creative kill, I could forgive a lot of other things. So
Right.
a lot of other things, which in slashers we've had to forgive a lot of things. So it's always been a good time. But I have a couple more questions for you guys. Now my next question would be if you were running from a killer, and you had one of your senses stripped away from you, which sense would it be? Would it be your hearing or would it be your sight? Your hearing or your sight? Go. We'll go with Alex. What would it be? Your hearing or your sight?
I wear glasses, so I'll be like, moving these, bro. So like my sight would definitely be a problem if I'm running and yeah, definitely my sight. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, okay. Now, what about you, Gore? What would be the sense that
Um,
you wouldn't want to lose? You know.
I wouldn't want to lose my sight either. I wear glasses also, so I'm there with you. It's just I'd probably like if the hearing goes, I'll be all right. So I'd like to keep my sight around.
Did y'all not see Hush? You know, because
I know.
So good.
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
now what about you, Angelica? What would be your sense?
Yeah, I would want to keep my sight. I wear glasses too.
Yes, yes. Okay, so your hearing would be the one to go.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. See, I don't know. I thought Hush was like a nightmare scenario because I feel like you're without your hearing, it eliminates a lot of that tension, a lot of that, just yeah. But what about you, Lydia?
Well, I love Hush, but definitely I need my sight because I obviously wear glasses as well. And I no, I for me, if I take my glasses off and I'm sitting on my bed, I freak out because I can't see anything. So there's
Gotcha.
no way. There's no way.
Gotcha. What
Same.
what about you, Jupiter?
I was gonna say we're a bunch of blind people up in here because I'm not about to lose my sight. No, you can't take that from me. So take the hearing. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Damn, I'm probably the only one in here. What about you? What about you, Bianca?
So initially, I was with you, Ty, in regards to Hush. I'm like, okay, it's doable, but I also can't see far. So take the hearing for me. I can't see. So yeah.
So, Sylvester said, no, the panel said if they got sight, they good. And
We good.
Yeah.
Mike said this panel was brought to you by Lens Crafters. Okay, okay. That's respectable. That's respectable. And now, my next question would be if you guys were trapped in a basement, and this is a huge basement.
Oh, man.
It's probably like the basement of a hospital or something like this. I'm trying to paint the scene. It's gonna be light fog, in the building, and there's a there's a pack of psychotic children with butcher knives. Would you choose them to go against you or to dodge, or would you choose a psychotic pack of elderly folks with butcher knives? Which one would you choose? Clinically, I'm gonna go with you, Bianca. Which one would you choose?
I'm glad you know. So clinically, boom. Okay. My initial reaction is, I'll go with the geriatric side. But then I remembered when I work night shift and I've seen my geriatric patients, they
On a
turn up. Like after like 1 a.m., they turn into the Hulk. So then I'm like, damn, I don't know. The kids, I'm like, okay, maybe I can take the kids, but then I'm also short. So I don't know if that'll work out either. So I think I would have to take my chances with the elderly.
Okay, okay. I respect it. I respect
Clinically.
it. The elderly, I think Mika, she echoes your sentiment. She says I have a better chance of outrunning them,
Hey,
you know.
Mika.
Yes, yes. Psychotic elders hoping their cardio is off.
Yeah. Work with
You know,
us.
my brother, he says I'd rather fight Blanche. Yo, what up, Lil? In the building. now, what about you, Jupiter? What would be your answer?
I'm for sure fighting the elderly. I've babysat a lot in my life, and my nephew is 7, but he's like super strong. So I don't trust these kids. They're gonna destroy me. I'm going with the elderly for sure. Just kind of kick
Ooh,
them over. They'll break a hip. That's it. We're done. That's it.
okay, okay, interesting,
I'm
interesting.
sorry.
No, this is. I mean, I know a couple. There's people in here who have kids, but this is team like this. This is a safe space, but this is not a safe space for children to be alive throughout the whole movie. Like a child can get it,
Oh
a
yeah.
child can get it, you know. Now, what about you, Gore? What would be your answer?
A child can get it for sure, but I'm gonna go with the elderly, just because I feel bad, like trying to take a child down. I'm gonna give them a chance. If they have to make it, they have a life to live. So I'm gonna go with the elderly.
Okay, okay, I respect it. I respect it. What about you, Angelica?
Um, yeah, I could fuck up some kids, but I think I would go with some. I think I would go with the elderly. It's just it's funny too because I think old people are so cute. But yeah, I would go with them.
Okay, okay.
And kids have a lot of energy.
Yeah, but I've like there's this movie on Netflix called Old People. I think it's Old People Are
Yes.
Old. Like it's
Yes.
yeah.
It's
It's
so good. Yes, I watched it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, now, what about you, Lydia? What would be your answer?
Yeah, definitely the old people. I've worked with children for like 8 years now, and I have two kids. They wild. I'd rather
Oh,
not.
okay, okay. I understand. I understand. Especially, you got experience, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
you've already plotted. You've already been plotting,
Yeah.
at some point, you know. Now what about you, Alex? What would be your answer,
Children of the Corn is one of my favorites, so I'm gonna go with the kids, man. Y'all must not have known about old people strength. Like that's a thing.
man?
Old man strength is a thing. And that grip. If you ever had someone old and grab you, like, boy, don't you play with like that thing? Like, no, I'll take my chances with some badass little kids. I can do that. I'll take the kids over that. Old man strength is scary, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me. We've all seen it. We've all seen it in real life. In real life, you know. But yes, my next question for you guys would be: would you rather, in these scenarios, would you rather try to escape a killer by swimming away, but your arm is wounded, your arm is wounded, and there's blood and leaking in the pool, and it's just the whole 9 yards. Would you rather be in that scenario, or would you rather bike away from the killer, not a motorcycle, but a bicycle, bike away from the killer with a leg wound, and your legs pretty much is donezo, and not just like he didn't stab you in the shin, he stabbed you like in the ankle,
Cute.
you
Okay.
know. I don't clinically, is that possible,
Clinically,
Bianca?
I mean, you can definitely get stabbed in the ankle.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Now what would be your answer, Alex?
I can't swim, so I'm gonna go with the bike on this one for sure.
Okay. Me,
I'm gonna
me
take
neither, brother. I can't swim either.
yeah
It's okay.
skateboard out of there. Dude, like I can't.
That's a real answer. That's a real answer. What about you, Gore? What would be your answer? Oh, we got some lag.
Oh yeah, I can't swim either, so I'll be.
Oh yeah. I respect it. I respect it.
Did you hear me?
You said you couldn't swim either. Then it kind of like cut out a little bit. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I can't swim either.
I respect it. I respect it. I think we need to start like in a spooky swim lessons.
Yes.
Something.
Yes, that's a
Some,
wild story.
yes, yes. Now, what about you, Angelica? What would be your answer?
I would, yeah, I would swim. I could swim, and
Okay.
yeah, I don't like riding bikes.
You are the
Listen, I
first
have
person.
to
You are the first person in life who I've heard be like, "Yeah, I don't. It's the bike. It's the bike.
yes,
It's the-
it's the bike. He'll catch me.
What about you, Lydia?
Did you say a pool or ocean?
A pool. This is
Okay,
a
I'm
pool.
just saying because if you're in an ocean, you're bleeding. Then I might think of sharks now coming, But
Yes.
I'm a really good swimmer too, so I would swim because I would get really tired on a bike.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's funny because I would think like in my mind I'm thinking bike because I'm like, all right, I could get up and go, swimming. Of course, I
They
mean I
might not
can't
know how
swim.
to swim either, though. So
That's true. Jason was shaking. He had that anxiety attack. You know. What about you, Jupiter?
I'm getting on the bike. I also can't swim, and like it's next level my phobia of water. I think it's called thalassophobia, where you think that there's giant creatures under the water. So like I just don't. I don't do water. I don't. And I
I,
have a spinning bike at home. I start every morning spinning, so I got this. Like bring the bike.
There we
I
go.
respect it.
prepared.
Yes, yes. And what about you, Bianca?
So I actually was on a swim team for 4 years. So give me the
Mm.
ocean, the pool, whatever body of water. These short legs can only get so far on a bike. It will be a man down situation for me. So put me in the water. I would not go far, I promise. Like just put me in the water. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like I have really short legs. So definitely put me in the water.
Yes. I respect it. I respect it. We got a Whitney. She says, I can't ride a bike, so I gotta swim. I respect it. Mark, he says, I can't swim, but biking with a wound would send me in a ditch, hurt myself even worse, and I'd just be laying there for the damn Mark.
He wrote the script. He wrote the script.
Oh my
Uh yeah. It's real. It's real answers. So it's reality. This is reality. Now, if you were in a team up, if you were in a team up, and they were like, we're leaving one of these people behind. It can be you and Freddie or you and Jason, who would you team up? Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna scratch that off. I'm gonna elevate that. It could be Freddy, Jason. It could be any slasher killer. Who would you be in team? Who would you be in a team up movie with, as far as slasher killers? Yes, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with that. So, what about you, Lydia? Who would you be in a team up with?
You already know. You don't have to ask. You know. Who
Ghostface.
is it? No, Freddie.
Oh,
You
Freddy.
remember we talked about this already.
Yeah, I feel like Freddy's gonna be like, that's why he's not even on my list, because I feel like he's gonna be everywhere tonight. So we'll see, we'll see. Because it's Fred Head's definitely in the building tonight.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. What about you, Alex? Who would you choose?
I'm definitely gonna go with Chucky for sure. He's
Okay.
very nimble, fast feet. He's very smart. He's very crafty, underestimated. Yeah, and he has a sense of humor as well.
True.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I respect it. I respect it. Chucky franchise has no bad films, so I definitely respect it. Definitely respect it. What about you, Angelica? Who would you choose to team up with?
Freddie's my favorite too. I love Freddie, and for the same reason that you like Chucky is his sense of humor. Like his, yeah. I love that about him.
Yes. Damn, I got the Fred heads in a row. Like three of y'all down the line. Damn. What now? What about you, Bianca? Who would you choose?
You should know this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Michael Myers, you already know that is my boo. That is my man. He is cool, calm, collected, always gets to the prize. He don't talk too much. That's my boo.
You don't talk too much.
Don't talk
Period. Like
too
that's
much.
it.
Wrong side.
I respect it. I respect it. What about you, Jupiter?
I honestly, when I heard the question, the first person that came to mind was Freddy. Even in my horror leg sleeve, he's at the top for a reason. I love a good laugh, and I also am very fascinated with dreams. So I definitely would team up with Freddy.
Okay, okay. That's a great pick. Great pick. Now what about you? What about you, Gore?
Definitely, probably Freddie. His commentary down. He gonna keep you laughing. And he just, you never know what he's gonna come up with, like what his kills are gonna be, what he's about to pull out of his sleeve. So yeah.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I feel like Freddie gonna dominate tonight, but here we go. Here we go. The moment we all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. The moment we all been waiting for. So we gonna kick it off with Jupiter. What would be your number 7?
All right, so I definitely had to represent for the Canadians. I wanted to start off with Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. Um, I absolutely love this movie, right? So we have that classic sort of like Alex mentioned, pick them off one by one. I absolutely love that. Even just the image of Harry Warden. So he's got the gas mask, which is just a scary mask in general, the pickaxe, which is a very original, killing tool. So, all around, I just absolutely love this movie. And again, it's a movie that comes out of Canada, which I discovered maybe 3 years ago. That makes me just love it way more. So I definitely wanted to say a special mention to Harry Warden for sure.
Yes, yes, I respect it. I love that answer. I was not expecting that, but yes, this is why we doing this tonight. Digging in the crates, digging in the crates. You know, hey Germs, thank you for stopping by, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. Now what about you, Gore? What would be your number 7?
So my number 7 was real hard. I had a tie between two, and they were both same Texas Chainsaw. So my Texas Chainsaw 2022. There was
Yes.
really good kills all throughout that movie, and I don't know. I think it was really underrated. But I really love the bus scene where he just went through and he just went in, and everybody was recording it on live like now, like it was just hands down to me. I love that. So that was my number
Mhm.
7.
I respect the hell out of it because I know a lot of people had issues with that movie, but I think we even talked about it. But I loved it. I loved the brutality that it was bringing. When he bent that motherfucker's wrist back, I was
Oh.
just like, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. It was a
It was.
lot going on. Now, what about you, Alex? What would be your number 7, man?
Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon. It's underrated, but it's one of those ones that is super meta. It's showing you how an actual slasher would plan his actual murder spree, the victims that he chooses, and he has this crew that's documenting this, and so it has that found footage element, but at the same time, it goes into a traditional slasher towards the end, but it's all the prep what he would do. Um, when he makes his own legend, he makes his own backstory, his own mask, his own weapon, which is like a sickle or something like that, and he basically walks us through step by step of his murder spree, and it's fun and it's charming at first until it actually becomes the actual night that he's going to make this thing happen.
Yes.
It's super underrated. It's definitely on my list though because it gives you everything that you love about slasher movies, but it gives you that meta sense of humor about it as well, almost on a level of Scream, but a little bit more, just a little bit more meta than anything else. Actually, there's like Robert Englund in the movie as well, and Kane Hodder makes an appearance and everything. It's It's really awesome. Yeah, that's definitely what I would start with.
That's a nice choice, man. That's a nice choice. That again, one that I did. You reached into the back of like my brain with that one because I haven't seen that one in years. I haven't seen it one in
One of
years.
my personal favorites. It's a breath of fresh air for sure.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. Now, what about you, Angelica? What would be your number seven?
I chose High Tension. I liked I really liked the dresser kill when he took his head off. I loved that. And I loved
Yes,
the whole twist, the storyline. I loved it. Yeah.
yes.
yeah,
Shout out to High Tension.
yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to High
French
Tension.
horror.
Yes, yes. French horror, top tier, top tier.
Yep.
Now, what about you, Bianca? What would be your number seven?
So my number seven was hard. I tried to. Okay. So my actual number seven is Leatherface. I mean, he just gives you everything you need. He is slashing. He is brutal. He's just like, if you want a smelly movie, you just gotta watch his movies. Like, I just love Leatherface. I really, really do. But then I also try to make it something that's maybe not really seen. So I actually watched a new movie today. It's called The Burning,
Oh yes.
1981. And so it was the first time I saw it, and I was like, wow, it's the Legend of Cropsey. You have the kind of reminiscent of Jason with the camp and coming back for revenge and all that jazz. So that was really good. And I'm like, wow, I like that movie. But then I'm like, wait a minute, there's a lot of sexual inappropriateness going on here. So I'm like, but why? So then I went and I saw who produced it, and I was like, oh, heard you. Weinstein. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was kind of,
Oh,
a little for me, but the movie overall was like a new slasher for me today. So I was like, all right, I'm putting it on my list because that was pretty cool.
that rap scene
Yes.
too, right?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people showing love for the burning,
Yes.
Mika, the burning, love the burning, Sylvester, the burning was so good.
Yes.
Classic.
Tommy, the burning, yes,
Yes.
yes. High tension, yes, high tension gagged me when I first seen. I think we all were gagged. Mike, the burning is so good. The burning, yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I didn't see The Burning. I'm gonna add it. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there. Like I hadn't actually seen it until I think it was Scream Queen Ash. She had did like her
Mm,
poster, and
yep.
then I was like, oh, let me check this out. So
Yep.
like and that's why I love when like Scream Queen Ash and She's Psychotic, they do their thing because
Mhm.
they make me want to go check out the movie. Like I think I saw I saw Imposter. I don't know if it's on you. I don't know if it's on anyone's list, but I saw Imposter because of your poster. So it was definitely. I hope that's what it's called. Yeah, Imposter. Yeah. So slasher. Now, what about you, Lydia? What would be your number seven?
The Bernie Nomas made it. Well, for me, let me start by saying it was really hard curating this list because
Yes.
obviously we love slashers and I'm not picky. I just, you know, love it all. And so for me, the way I went about it was basically what is most rewatchable for me. That was the only way I could narrow it down. So my number seven goes to House of Lex from 2005.
Oh, okay.
I love. I mean, I know that movie gets so much hate, but I love it. I love Paris Hilton. That's one of the best chase scenes, in my opinion. Her kill was chef's kiss, and I mean, I love the story of the twins and well, both twins, I guess you know, but I think it's amazing.
I respect it. I respect it. Most definitely. Most definitely. Now, my number seven would be I'm gonna have to go with Halloween Resurrection. I'm gonna just throw it in there because I feel like it gets way more hate than it actually deserves. I feel like it's a very rewatchable time. It's a very good time. It's a very entertaining time. It's a very black time. It's
Yes.
got Busta Rhymes in it all in the video. Dangertainment, hashtag Dangertainment. It's
Yeah.
also got Tyra Banks,
Yeah.
need I say more, Tyra Banks. So it's like it's just a fun time. And I never seen Michael Myers move the way he was moving in, Halloween Resurrection, So it's definitely up there for me. Yes, yes. Mika, you want that Dangertainment. Yes.
Let the entertainment begin in this mother. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, honors from him in that movie, bro.
Yes, yes. Oh, Mike, you're really controversial with it. Resurrection is my second favorite Halloween movie next to Season of the Witch.
Oh my
I
god.
respect it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, okay. Throwing April Fools in there. I respect it, Mike.
Oh,
I
nice.
respect it. You know, you know. Now, we on to number 6. On to number 6. So, Gore, what would be your number 6?
Okay, number 6, I went with Urban Legend, the first one. Because I remember when I first seen that movie, I don't remember exact age, but just I was like, who is it? Who is it? Just the suspense built up. And you can't, those kills, man, like they were so unique. I remember specifically like one cringe in there was the one when he was in the parking garage and he got his ankles clipped. Just that stuck with me. So Urban Legend, that's my 6.
That's a classic. That's a classic. I still remember the microwave scene.
Yeah, the dog in the microwave.
It's one
Yes.
of the best opening scenes too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Poor puppy.
Mhm.
And Legend
Yes.
Dora was the one that was the spooky guy at the gas station who had a stutter. And we
Oh
all
yeah.
see for a second, and then come to find out
Yeah.
that's the full hero of the situation, trying to warn
Yeah.
her. No, definitely.
Chills. I get chills
Yeah.
every time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's never gets old. I can watch that movie over and over and over again.
And
Yeah, it's definitely one of them. Like it's and I'm glad that you put it in there because it's not always in people's like
Oh yeah.
top list that they bring up, but it definitely made an impact in the 2000s. Like that was it was undeniable. It was undeniable. Now, what about you, Jupiter? What's your number 6?
I had to go with Jason, Friday the 13th, specifically part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
So I'm someone that really loves true crime and I'm all about the psychology of the killers. So I like Jason's backstory. He has this mother that was almost, I won't say overbearing, but she was really like protective of him. We see she's the killer in the first movie, and that's sort of the catalyst for the rest of the killing that we see. So I really like that the way we can analyze him that way. Also, like I mentioned, that classic again, pick them off one by one when they're isolated. I love a movie that has to do with a camp setting. Absolutely love it. So part 2 is just one of my favorites. That's actually why when I look at movies like Fear Street, the second Fear Street as well, I love that camp setting. There's just something about that camp. You're supposed to be safe. It's happy times. It's good times. So I definitely had to throw in Jason, one of our OGs, for my number 6.
Yes, yes, I respect it. I respect it. What about you, Lydia? What would be your number 6?
Well, so don't judge me, y'all. So mine's also Friday the 13th, part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. I am obsessed with that movie. I don't care what nobody says.
It's a classic.
I think the kills are so much fun. I love like the dance floor. I love like the rockers and just everything about that. It's so fun.
Yes, yes.
the
It's
fight,
a classic.
yeah,
Yeah.
out of box Jason. And I was so into it. I'm like, he may have a chance, bro. He may actually survive this one. He just kept
Nope.
backing him up, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, definitely. Shout outs to that one.
The boop.
Crazy, crazy. Now, what about you, Alex? What would be your number 6?
Scream 2.
Mm,
Scream 2. That one kind of upped it. It was double the chase scenes, more red herrings, more suspense. It just had a little bit more. They added another layer to it all, and this time it just felt like the killers were much more hidden in plain sight than anything else. The whole discussion of sequels was what was pretty interesting. Come to find out, Mickey is actually, one of the killers, and he's like in class with them and just having this spirited conversation with everyone. And he's just like he's in there. And the thing about it was, his defense of sequels is what really, when I watched it again recently, I was just like, whoa, like he's very adamant about how good sequels are and how they can surpass the original. That's his whole motive. So he's basically giving us his entire motive, like right there in front of the class, right then and there. And we didn't even know it. The fact that like Debbie Salt doesn't even exist. There's like this strange woman, with like some fake little like little sign and everything, like the little placard or whatever, saying that she's with the press, and she's not. She's murdering people on campus, but getting away with it in plain sight. It was a really good one, in my opinion. It's one of the stronger sequels of the originals, in my opinion. Scream 2 for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Scream 2 was definitely up there as far as like in the franchise, at least for me. At least for me. It's definitely up there. Now what about you, Bianca? What would be your number 6?
So my number 6, again, I tried to be creative and kind of deviate away a little bit from the OGs. So this is actually another one that I watched today for the first time on Hulu. It's called Your Next. I don't know if you guys have
Oh
seen
yeah.
I've
it.
seen that, yeah.
And I'm like,
Yep.
what is this? It's very reminiscent
So
of
good.
Scream. Right. And I was like, whoa, it's the fun, who did it, stalking the family, and animal mask. But then you're trying to figure out, like, okay, when this person was getting killed, who was in that room? Like, it's just a fun, fun, fun movie. I watched it today and I was like, oh yeah, you're definitely added onto my list for a good slasher. It got
Oh
you
yeah.
thinking, it has the suspense and then the thriller and then the reveal at the end. It's a good time. So that is my number 6. And it's free on Hulu.
Yes, yes.
Erin is one of the best final girls in my opinion
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So good.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna go. I remember seeing Your Next in theaters, and I knew someone was gonna bring it up tonight. I'm like, someone's gonna bring up Your Next because it just hit different. Your
Oh
Next
yeah.
hit different.
Oh yeah.
Now what about you, Angelica? What would be your number 6?
I put Freddy versus Jason, and it's just a lot
Yes.
of fun for me. It's a comfort film, and I love it so much.
Oh yeah, I love when Freddie's like, I've got a thing for the whores in this house, and he's got the little.
Yeah, it's just so much fun.
It was a fun one. Like I know like it wasn't perfect, but it I definitely have it on Blu-ray. I can rewatch it anytime. Like it's a fun one. It's a fun one. Definitely a
And
fun
Kelly Rowland, I love Kelly Rowland, so
Yes.
definitely when I saw her in the movie, I'm like, yes,
one.
How sweet, dark.
yes.
Wildin', wildin'.
Good.
Now, I'm gonna go with my number 6. I'm gonna go with Sleepaway Camp 2.
Nice.
Not the original, but 2. I have more fun with the sequels for me personally. Um, I just feel like it's nothing better than just seeing Angela with the guitar, singing to the campers. And it's just like this woman is psychotic. Like something is severely wrong. Because she's so welcoming. She's like, "Hey, everybody," just so welcoming. And but behind the scenes, she's chopping them up. She's chopping them up. So something very menacing. Something very menacing. Like I said, I know a lot of people go up for the first one, but the sequels, it was just something about it, especially that 80s feel, that late 80s, early 90s feel, definitely special for me. Definitely special. you know. So I'm gonna go to the comments and see what the people is saying. Mike says Pamela did nothing wrong. Got Jason Takes Manhattan is rewatchable as fuck. I agree. I agree. Kara, Jason Takes Manhattan is a good time, no doubt. No doubt. Jason 8 was that business.
I feel
You
the
mean
love.
yes, yes, you mean Jason takes a boat for most of the movie and takes
Pretty much.
uh Bobby says Scream
That's
2.
funny.
Come on, Alex. Coming through with Scream 2.
You got love Scream too, though.
They
Oh
had it
yeah.
coming. I'm assuming that was Scream 2. Great one, Alex. Best opening Scream 2. I
Yeah.
love the Scream as a franchise. Scream 2, solid pick. Your Next is awesome. Yes, it is. It's one of them. A lot of Your Next uh love. A lot of Your Next love. Erin is one of my favorite final girls. Badass.
Mm.
Erin is an icon. That blender scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Your Next. Your Next is a really fun time. Our final girl, Aaron was hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Freddy versus Jason was amazing. Yes, Kelly Rowland became a gay icon in that film. Yeah, I can see that. Kelly Rowland. Yes, a lot of love for Kelly. She sure did.
Yes.
Like, and Reed and Freddie, Unhappy Campers. Yes, yes. Sleepaway Camp series is just batshit crazy. It is. It is. It's definitely top tier. It's definitely top tier. So yes, we're gonna get into our number five. Number five. So you know what? I am going to I'm gonna start number five with Child's Play 2.
Uh,
Child's Play 2.
uh,
I feel like I love the Child's Play series. There's no bad movies for me except for like the actual, the robotic shit that they tried to do. Like I respect it. I respect people who love it, but
I love it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
I
it.
respect. I respect it, but I'm just like that's Buddy. I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Child's Play 2. There's nothing like that scene. Well, it's a couple scenes. The scene where he's got his hand over Andy's head and he's like, the I do way Dembele, give me the power I beg. And he's like, what? I'm fucking trapped in here. Like it's just amazing. Just amazing. Cinematic genius. The scene where he's walking, he's got the ruler, he's walking,
Mhm.
trying to killing the teacher or whatever. I'm like,
Yes.
cinematic genius.
Yes.
And also when he's on the conveyor belt rising up,
Oh
trying to
yeah.
trying to stab Andy, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like genius, genius.
How's it, Bill?
Yeah, exactly.
That part.
Bro, like I remember I had the VHS. I wore it out. I wore
Yeah.
the VHS out.
Yeah.
You know. Shout out to VHS. Shout out to VHS. But yeah, what would be your number five, Lydia?
Oh, Candyman from 1992.
Ooh.
I
Nice.
had to go with that. Give it some love because Candyman was really the only movie that scared me as a kid. And not only is Tony Todd scary, he's frightening. Not only are the kills, just so intense and gruesome, but it's also a beautiful story.
Yes.
So had to show it some love.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Candyman, definitely a strong pick. Definitely a strong pick. What about you, Bianca? What would be your number five?
So my number five, I'm actually piggybacking off of you, but I just put Chucky. Just
Just
Chucky.
Chucky.
I mean, it's out of control. Like we watched him start a family. Like he's just so tactical, menacing, like all the things. And it's like I look like, yes, I'm a doll, but do I look like I play with you? I'm like, okay, Chucky, I know that's right. Like I Love, love, love Chucky. So he's my number 5. Just Chucky. He got a TV show now.
Yes.
Chucky.
Just Chucky. Just Chucky.
Just Chucky.
No, I get it. I get it because it's so many different ways, especially with the television show and then the movies. Like everything's got different tones. It's just it's amazing. It's amazing. So Chucky. Yes. What about you, Angelica?
I picked The Strangers, and I know a lot of people would say it's kind of slow, but I feel like it's the most terrifying way to die.
Yeah.
It's very real. Home invasion is so scary, and yeah, I love that movie.
I'm glad you picked that one because that was I just recently did a rewatch, not too long ago, and I was like, this is still as terrifying as it was the day that I saw it in the movie theaters. Like from the mood, just the music, just the simplistic, just the husband or not the husband, but because he ended up, it was a bad night for him. But it was really a bad night for him. But he went out, to get something to drink or whatever, and then his girl is in the house, and she just gets a knock, and I'm just like, that is terrifying.
Camera.
Because I'm like, you're literally, you look like it's in the middle of nowhere, and lights are out, and it's just like, who is knocking at my door at that time of the night? Like, it's innocent, if someone knocks on it at the right time, then I'm like, okay, I gotta get up, let me grab my slippers. But if you're knocking on my door at 2:00 in the morning, what do you want?
Right.
What do you want? Now I gotta find a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't got a weapon, but I gotta find one now because you're knocking at my door at 2:00 in the morning.
And it's the little things too, like when he just appears in the window outside and then disappears when the camera moves. Yeah, it's little things like that. It's so scary.
Creepy.
I live alone, so I'm very sensitive to that. That freaks me out. Like I don't answer my door. If someone knocks on the door and I'm not expecting you, I don't answer. So this is a great pick for me too. It's so scary.
It's up there. What about you, Alex?
I go with Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is a solid sequel, in my opinion. When it comes to the original, I think it's more of the same. So you get a little bit more of the same thing that we got, but it just had that 80s vibe to it now. It's coming into the 80s, and I think it was a strong addition. I honestly can't go without watching Halloween 2. If I'm watching Halloween 1, I just pop into Halloween 2. It just blends in seamlessly with the first one, in my opinion. And it made hospitals scary for me.
Yes.
It really did. It made hospitals creepy for me for some reason. Everything in Haddonfield is creepy after a certain point. But the kills are a little bit more violent than before. That I don't want to call it a jacuzzi, but that hot tub scene was very, very vicious, man. And then that's when we first get to see him, lift people off their feet when he stabs. That's like a signature move for him at some point, but it starts in that one. And that's when we get the backstory, for better or worse, but we get some type of motive as to why he's doing what he's doing. Shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis' wig. 80s wig, it's like theme that John Carpenter did, or it had a little bit more of a bop to it. I think Halloween 2 feels like a Halloween movie. It feels like actually filmed in October. Like certain ones that you watch actually kind of gives you that spooky Halloween season type of vibe. Sometimes they film during the summer or something like that, but that one felt like it was really in the fall. So it kind of gives me that Halloween vibe that I'm looking for. So I usually pop that in every time it's October, for sure. Halloween 2.
I respect it. Halloween 2 is actually my favorite Halloween movie. It's up there. It's up there for me. So I love that pick. It's very brutal. Respect it, people.
Michael Myers with a scalpel, bro. That's terrifying. That was his whole weapon. The entire movie was a scalpel, bro.
It's
Michael Myers
amazing.
with anything. It could be
Yeah.
Michael Myers
Yeah.
with a honey bun. I'm still
That's
not walking
right.
down that hallway.
Period.
Still not walking down that hallway. You know.
Great.
What about you, Gore? What would be your number five? Five.
And so I went. It was kind of similar to the last one, Sleepaway Camp 3.
Oh
Um,
yes.
so I love all of them really, but like one, I feel like it took the last scene kind of like makes you forget about the rest of the movie, and then two, Angela was just coming into development, but three, she came back, and I was like, what's gonna happen? So I went with three. It was just I love all of them, but it just gave me more of like that 80s vibe.
Yes. I love it. I love that pick. I
Three
love
is
that
my
pick.
favorite out the franchise.
Yeah, I just we really seen Angela come into her character in three. So, and I didn't see four. I don't know.
You didn't miss much, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, two and three. I think they had
yeah,
they had a solid trilogy, you know.
yes,
Yeah.
one of the favorites.
You know. But it's interesting to see if they'll ever remake that, you know, and what they'll do to make it, you know, fit like 2023. That'll be
Right.
interesting, you know. But yes, what about you,
Yes,
Jupiter? What about your
yeah.
number five?
I think this is so cool because I actually have the same number five as Alex. That's why I have like a huge smile. I'm like
Yes.
nodding my head the whole time. I absolutely love Halloween 2. It's my favorite of the whole franchise. Like Alex said, it's the first time we see Michael Myers picking people up off the floor. It's amazing. Even that opening scene where the kid is killed and like lit on fire, right away you're like, this movie is gonna be brutal. We just killed a kid right at the beginning. Let's go. So I really, really love that, and Michael Myers has a certain kind of like hitman aspect to him, he's like a shark after his target. And
Yeah.
I just absolutely love that movie. I thought that it was so well executed. And, it really is a Halloween movie, like you said, like the whole atmosphere from beginning to end. And I think it really brings out the brutality of Michael. And like I said, I'm all about the emotion and the psyche. So we learn more about what is Michael's motivation? Why is he doing what he's doing? So I absolutely love that movie. And that's where I find like Halloween Ends was a bit disrespectful, right? Because that is not our Michael. We can't take the mask from him like that, Like it's just that is not the Michael that we know and love. And Halloween 2, I feel like it's such a strong character that we see of Michael. I'm getting like way too emotional.
No, say it with
But
your
it's,
chest,
Yes.
Jupiter. Say it with your
Yep.
chest.
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
just so excited. I'm like, I'm not gonna steal Alex's thunder, but I'm sitting here like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And since at the beginning we said it was a safe space, I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm going to go ahead and say my second favorite of the franchise is Rob Zombie's Halloween. I
Mm.
absolutely love Michael Myers. I actually prefer that one to the first Halloween. I know, unpopular opinion, but I think it was very well executed because we get a lot of the story from that first movie, right?
Yes.
Whereas the other movies, it's bits and pieces to create the story. So I find that 2007, like right from the beginning, we have that emotional connection and we see how ruthless Michael Myers is, especially when he kills the security guard, Danny Trejo. I was good to you, Mikey. I was good to you. I didn't think he was going to kill him. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's not gonna kill him, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this guy doesn't care. This guy doesn't care,
At all. At all.
right? Right. So I absolutely love Rob Zombie's Halloween as well.
Oh yeah, I respect it. Especially Rob Zombie's Halloweens aren't like my favorite, but I do like the relentlessness of
Mhm.
that Michael, like
Yeah.
the brutality of that Michael. Like it was just he was revved up, he was revved up,
He made
So
him scary.
yeah.
He made him scary again.
Yeah.
Tyler Mane is like the largest actor to play Michael, and he towers over everyone in that movie. He's definitely
Yes.
a worthy
Mhm.
opponent for sure. Yeah, Rob Zombie definitely went all in with that one. For
Yes.
better or worse, what anybody thinks, but yeah, he definitely made him scary again for sure.
Yes.
Yes. Make make Michael scary again. Make Michael
Love it.
scary
Man.
again.
Don't get me started.
Mike Mike says Tyrone is a safe space.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just
sometimes you just it's I wasn't expecting it, but I respect it. I respect it. It's all love.
when
It's
I
all
said it was better than the original. That's when you threw yourself. I know.
love. I respect it. I respect it. Now, my number four, we on level four now. My number four is going to be a recent one, Shutter original, called Sissy,
Oh,
which I really, really go up
good.
for. And if anyone in here has not seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Anyone in the comments hasn't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's on Shutter right now. And if you liked it, it's on Amazon right now for purchase. You can cop that thing on DVD. It's just I really just love the story and just the fact that all of her friends were trash. They were
Yep.
just trash, trash, trash. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It definitely surprised me. It was a surprise sleeper hit of the year for me.
I was
Sissy.
rooting for her the entire time.
Oh, heck yeah. Same.
The entire time, Alex.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what happens when you mess with the wrong people sometimes.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, oh yeah.
And she ain't even hurt nobody.
Yeah, her friend's name was Alex. She was the
Yeah,
some friend, some friend. But
yeah.
yeah, it was a wild time. It was a wild time. Now what about you, Gore? What about your number four?
So my number four, I went with the first Terrifier. Um, just what is not to love? It was just everything behind the story, the kills, just Art the Clown, just everything. So that was, and it doesn't top. It really doesn't top like Dawn's. When I first seen that, I was like, whoa. So that was for me.
Yes, yes. I love Terrifier. The first one, I love the first one more than I know a lot of people really go for the second one, but I really love the first one. I think that, and I did enjoy the previous installments where like he had his cameos or his own little sections of the movie, All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
But that first movie, especially
Yeah.
that scene where they were in the restaurant, like that whole thing right there, where he turns old dude's head into a jack-o'-lantern.
Yep.
I was just like, oh, is this
Yeah.
what we're doing? This is wild. And then there's that part where he's got that woman's her torso or her chest, just
Oh
he's wet, and it's
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
that was terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called
Yeah.
Terrifier, but it was terrifying. I was watching it late at night,
Yep.
all the lights out. I've got my snacks next to me. I'm just chilling. I'm in very, very a great mood, and I was terrified.
Top.
Terrified. I felt like I was in the locker with him, peeping through. They shot that really very well. Very well. Yes, Terrifier.
Great
Yes,
pick.
yes. What about you, Jupiter? What would be your pick?
Again, safe space, Tyrone. I am going with Ghostface in Scream 6, the most recent installment of Scream.
I
I
love Scream 6.
Yeah.
This movie, okay, good. I was like, I don't know, we're gonna lose Tyrone again.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby for the shirt. Shout out to Bobby for the shirt.
Yes.
Scream. Let's get it.
I love it. I love it. So I have to be honest, Scream 5, I wasn't really feeling it. When the killers were revealed, I had a lot of problems with the kills themselves. So Scream 6, I felt really redeemed like the previous movie. I thought the dialogue was really well done. It was very well scripted, and that's something in new movies that we kind of lack. The story was captivating. The kills were brutal. Some people said they saw the plot twist coming. I personally didn't see it. I thought it was really crazy. I love that they included that shrine because the shrine, it works to the story, but it's also for the fans, right? We see all of the things from the previous movies that we know and love. That TV that killed Stu, I love that they included that. I also love that kind of, with her father, with Billy, like, in that mirror where we might see that maybe Sam is going to go crazy. I would love for them to
Yes.
do that. I would love them to take it there. So I just thought this movie was so much fun, and it was a very, very brutal ghost face. I thought it was really well done.
Yes, yes. Did you ever suspect Kirby?
I did. From the second I saw Kirby, I was like, it's her. I'm like, I'm the best. I'm the genius. It's Kirby. Like, let me go home. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the person I was with, I was like, it's Kirby. Like, remember? Like, I almost checked out.
I suspected Kirby as well. I think
Confident.
I was confident about my Kirby, especially when they said, "Oh, she works for the FBI now" or whatever. I'm like, no, no, no.
Oh, yeah. I was like, it's her.
Terrible, terrible. Now what about you, Alex? What's your number? Your number 4.
Number 4 is my personal favorite for Canadian horror movies, Black Christmas, the original.
Good
Yes.
pick.
Great
Black
movie.
Christmas is the first horror movie that took it there for Christmas. Like, honestly, it was always the holly jolly Christmas type movies that would come out. This one was the first to actually make it a scary holiday, and you don't really get to see him at all. You don't really get to see the killer. You don't know why, and like they say in Scream, it's scarier when there's no motive. We don't know
Yes.
why he's doing this, and the fact that he's like living above the sorority house the entire time, like that's freaky, man. It's entirely freaky. It's just, and you never know when he's gonna pop up next. It always kept me a mystery, and even towards the end, you don't know exactly what happened, and he's still there. It's still, it just leaves you with that feeling of like, this could still go on, this could still happen. The first one, the very first Black Christmas, that's been remade a couple times, but the first one is just very raw in that particular sense. It starts off with that first person view, as the killer is approaching the sorority house and looking through the window. That's Halloween before Halloween. You know what I mean? And it's really the inspiration, before Halloween, honestly, on killer, on a holiday that's going around murdering people. Like, that's early in the game slasher right there. Like, Black Christmas is early in the game slasher right there. And it showed you how you can do it. And we have a really good final girl in this one too. Very strong, very independent, intelligent, knows what she wants and gonna go and get it. She wasn't gonna, she wasn't gonna stand and just allow anything to happen. Whether from her boyfriend pressuring her to have a baby when she's not ready to. Her body, her choice. And then
Ahead of its time.
exactly. And so it's a lot that the first one brought to the table that we're still kind of, getting, in the future here now. So yeah, Black Christmas for sure. Put it down for Canadian horror movies, for slasher movies, and for holiday horror films for sure. Black Christmas.
Yes.
Even the
Yes.
phone aspect, like with Scream,
Yeah,
on Black Christmas, you have
yeah,
him calling, right? He's not
exactly.
speaking, but we have that phone.
Exactly. It's the OG. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes. So how did you feel about the other, like the remake? How did you feel about the
2006 one. I like that one. That one was very wacky and fun. I like that one. It had a little bit more
yeah.
fun. I watched that one too. When it's Christmas, I definitely watch those. With Silent Night, Deadly Night, and all those and all that stuff. But yeah, definitely, I like the 2000 remakes. A lot of 2000 remakes where they were a lot of fun. They didn't really take themselves too seriously. A lot of them. So I like that one too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Now what about you, Angelica? She's psychotic. What's your number 4?
I put Scream 2 as number 4.
Yes.
I really love the Scream franchise. I feel like it's the only franchise to consistently give us good movies. Because I loved all of them, even 3. I know 3 gets a lot of hate, but I liked 3.
Like,
I yeah, I
yeah,
liked
I
all of them.
liked it.
And the opening scene in 2 was my favorite.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It
But you
definitely
look for a movie called Stab.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock playing right down the street.
Yeah, Scream 2 was definitely a fun one, especially like you said, like the opening scene, and just to see how meta it was. I was just, I don't know, when it came out, the age that I was, like I was, young teenager or whatever, like I was just mesmerized by, what was going on the screen. I'm like, I didn't, they say you don't know when you're in the good old days. I was in the good old days. It was a beautiful time, beautiful time. And what about you, Bianca?
Yes, so I'm actually at a tie for this one. So, safe space. So, bear with me. So, I'm stuck between Megan and Art the Clown for two different reasons. So, I'll start with Megan. When I first saw the trailer for it, I'm like, okay, another doll movie per se. And of course, our brain goes to Chucky. So, I'm like, what are they going to do with this one? And I actually really, really enjoyed Megan. It was fun. I feel like it was a new twist on doll per se robotic movies, and it's one of those films where the end of it seems like it can allude to future films maybe, or like AI going crazy type jazz. But I have to clutch my pearls when I watched it because I'm like, Megan, girl, you protective, okay. But it was just like fun watching the kills, and I don't know. It was a good time, and of course, it pulls on your heartstrings, like the actual backstory, behind it. I was like, oh, she just wants a friend. Like, Megan's looking out for her, but she's also killing everyone that looks at her wrong. So it was like, but it was giving. It was giving. And then so Art the Clown. I mean, I literally just put Art the Clown. He's out of control. He's terrifying. For someone that's a mime, I'm like, you're quiet, but you need to really stop your noise because you're doing nothing but being crazy and reckless and chaotic. But he gives us the slasher, the gore, and just again, that creativity is just so like, this is actually terrifying, but like I can't stop watching. But this is terrifying. So that's my combined number 4.
Yes, yes. I don't know. Like the most creepy thing about like Art to me is his mouth. Like that's the most.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's going on in there? What's going on in there? I know he's not flossing. I know he's not tick, get TikTok talking about water picks. He not listening. I don't know. He gotta do something. He gotta do something. You know, something going on. Something going on. What now? What about you, Lydia?
Okay, so I try to stay away from home invasion because home
Mhm.
invasion is also top tier for me. And if I went with that, it probably would have been my whole list. So I just decided to make sure I picked only one, but it's my favorite one. But I went with Inside from 2007.
Ooh.
Um, that one is creepy. I remember the first time I saw it, it was 10 years ago. Was it 10? It was 10 years ago when I saw it. And I was sitting in my dad's living room with the lights off on the laptop with my headphones on because I was watching my niece. So I was just trying to, be my own corner. And I just remember my heart racing. And like movies don't, it's hard for that to get me to that point. And also like being a pregnant woman, you know, on that journey, and just having someone stalking your house like that is just, I mean, she was creepy, she was beyond creepy. And also, since you mentioned High Tension earlier, the person who did High Tension, the score, did the score on Inside as well.
Nice.
Wow. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like make it said that French horror is intense. Very intense. Yes, yes. We got horror movies and beyond. Thank you for joining Ivor Trees. Ivor Trees Little in the building. Thank you. Yes, yes. So that was our number 4. So ooh, it's getting down to the to the nitty of the gritty, I'm gonna go with Wrong Turn for my number three.
Ooh,
Nice.
Wrong Turn.
nice.
Elijah Dushku, just it was a time. It was a time, people. It was definitely a time, and it was a scenario that I feel like I would never want to find myself in. I feel like it's it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque with the dirtiness, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like Hills Have Eyes with the woods and the subject matter. It just took it there, and it still like creeped me out to this day. So Wrong Turn would definitely be one of my favorites. It would definitely be up there, and it's also the reason why I would never like drive through like the back wooded areas in like certain rural parts of the United States of America, because I just have a fear that there's wood people, and
Wood people.
What
yeah.
exactly is good people? Please, you need to elaborate. Like, you can't just stop there.
Like, I was
We need to know
agreeing, and I
more
was like,
about the
wait,
wood
what would
people. I'm sorry, you gotta wind that back. Like,
It's
you can't just
you
bypass that tie. Come on.
wood people would be the folks out there who would be residing in the woods. They make
People
their
that live in
own
the woods.
life. Yes, they make their own life out in the woods. They may be sleeping with their family members, stuff like that.
It's Virginia.
uh
It was West
they
Virginia.
they got some moonshine making. They got, it's just very rural. It's
Yeah.
very it's ratchet and rural. I'm gonna say that.
Ratchet
It's
and
R&R, ratchet and rural.
Yo,
So
I'm
yes.
writing down wood people. That is one for the book for sure.
100%.
Watch.
Like, and the subgenre is ratchet and rural.
Yes, yes, yes. Alex, write a story. The title, Wood People.
Oh,
Wood
you
People.
got it. Got
Here
it.
we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now, yeah, that was my number three. So what about you, Gore? What would be your number three?
So it kind of falls off the Ratchet and Roll also. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yes.
because it's just
Yes.
fun. It's wacky fun. It's your typical horror comedy of just it's a wild ride. Just from Stretch and to the chili cook-offs and everything. Like you're like, what the? It's Ratchet and Roll, just like you said.
Yes.
You describe it better. So that was that was
Yo, I didn't know what I was signing myself up for the first time I watched that movie. Like
nobody
I
does.
was like, let me put this on. I never seen it. I ain't seen it on nobody's list. Let me just throw this on.
And that's why
And I was just like, what am I watching from the jump? From
yeah,
the jump.
from the
What am I watching?
yeah,
Um, it was a moment. It was definitely a moment and a departure, but a homecoming, in a way. It was definitely an experience. My first time
one.
watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. If you haven't seen it, people, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's one of those. It's definitely one of those. What about you, Jupiter? What would be your number three?
My number three is going to be a new one, and that is Pearl. Um, so yes, I am not gonna lie, I watched that movie this morning, so I had to, I've seen X, and it's very interesting because when I first watched X, we all heard the hype, it's a great movie, so I went into it expecting to be blown away, and I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly underwhelmed. I love the setting, I love the story, I mean, it's about making a porn, this is right up my alley, I love this, and I really wanted to love it, but I guess I didn't know enough about Pearl to understand the killings. For me, it was just, okay, here's this like crazy lady that, they're having sex, so they're just not into it. They're really traditional and they're killing people. I still thought it was a great movie, but I was like, okay. Then this morning I said, oh, Pearl is on Amazon. Let me just put it on while I get this list ready for tonight. And again, all about emotion psychology. So right away you have this woman who is almost like a Disney's princess in the way she's out there in the barn. So I'm analyzing her right away. I'm like, she's isolated, she's lonely, she has dreams of grandeur, and then she stabs a goose with a pitchfork. And I'm like, man, she's crazy. Like, so right away I'm captivated and I want to see more. I want to know more. And I just find everything that happened to her story right down to like, her parents taking care of her father, wanting to be a star, but being told she's not what they're looking for. I just thought the movie was so well executed, and I really, not to say I identified with Pearl, but I understood, where she was going and what happened to her. And I like that we got to see sort of her descent into madness. We have little glimpses of it here when she's there with the scarecrow. That was so disturbing. But anyways, I just really like that. So then after that, I'm like, okay, I can appreciate X, and I really want to rewatch X now and tie everything together. I think that she's a really, really great slasher.
Yes, yes. Now, what would be your favorite line from Pearl? I know you did. Did you just see it this first time?
I
Was
just
first
saw it
time?
this morning. Yeah, I don't know that I could really recite my favorite line. I know my scene is really that the pitchfork with the goose and then later fitting it to the crocodile.
Oh,
I was kind of hoping the father went down that way too, just for that. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to see it. Didn't happen, but I don't have a favorite line, no.
yes, yes. I see a lot of love for Pearl in the comments. Pearl.
I'm
I'm
a
a
star.
star, but
That's it.
I'm a star.
I gotta say the credits, like that creepy smile that became a
Oh yeah.
cry. That,
Yes.
like, I
Yep.
was about to turn it off, and I'm like, holy, this is just amazing acting. Like, Mia Goth killed it. Even that speech she's giving to her friend, I'm
Yo,
like,
Yeah.
this is,
Mhm.
like, I had chills.
yo, I was stuck. I was stuck in the theater when she was giving her that speech, and then I was like, "Girl, you should have left 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, you should have left." I don't want to spoil it for nobody who ain't seen Pearl. If you haven't seen Pearl, see it. She's
Yeah.
a star. She's definitely a star.
Yeah.
Um, what about you, Bianca? What would be your number three?
So my number three actually has been said already. So it's literally Scream 2 slash Scream 6. Because those are my two favorites. I mean, Ghostface, it's always a fun time. It's just a great time. Once Ghostface is there, something crazy is gonna happen. I love in the sixth one how they tied again like that shrine at the end. It just felt like, I felt like I was like reliving, like going through like a little reel per se in my head through all the different
Yes.
screens, like seeing that moment. It was like nostalgic kind of, and I'm just like, wow, like this is great. And again, of course, you still have the aspect of the who done it, who could it be, who was there when that person got killed. Wait, was that person there? Like it's just such a fun time, and also the fact that I love when so like during the kills or during the scenes, like let's say like Ghostface does something and like someone does something back, he'll like look at you like oh, and I'm like the nerve, but like like sometimes I forget like this is still a human being. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not a like a Freddy, something paranormal or whatever the case may be. So it's just like I'm like the never ghost face. Like who are you tilting your head at? Like, but it's a fun, great time. I love Ghostface. Love the franchise as a whole. I think again they did an amazing job with the sequels. Yeah, I just Scream 2 slash Scream 6 definitely.
Yes, yes. Those are definitely top tier screams for me.
Yeah,
Like I definitely have my favorites out of the series.
yeah.
But Scream 2 is definitely up there.
Mhm.
Mark says, I wish Scream 2 haters could see this live and gag.
Right?
Yeah, got a lot of Scream 2 love in the building tonight. What about you, Angelica? What's your number three?
Um, Candyman. Yeah, the
Candyman.
original.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's up
I love
there.
Candyman. The Doctor's Death was my favorite. My favorite
Oh
kill in
yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was so
good.
good. And Candyman scared me before I seen the movie because I learned about him as an urban legend first.
Right.
So,
Wow.
so it was, yeah, it was a good experience of watching that.
Yes, yes. See, I didn't really hear about like the urban legend as a kid. Like I was like they all they were talking about was like Bloody Mary and stuff
Bloody
like that,
Mary,
you
yeah.
know.
Mhm.
But it was I'm like it's the when I finally learned about Candyman, I was like, oh, this is some next level, you know, especially because no one delivers like Tony Todd.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just a certain he's an
Yeah.
orator.
Yeah.
It's, you know, no one delivers.
Mhm.
You know. Now, what about you, Alex? What's gonna be your number three, man?
Number three, I would go with Halloween, the original, 1978. It gives us mostly everything that makes a slasher movie what it is. Like, it gives us a great chase scene, when Michael, chases after Lori, who is our final girl. We have a pretty decent body count, it's like six, maybe people. Um, and it's just simple but effective. It puts everything where it needs to be, but it's very simple and effective. And with Donald Pleasance being in that movie, he makes Michael Myers scarier. Just how he talks about,
Yes.
just how he describes him. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, and just you're picturing this kid and just how freaky he could be, just being a child. And like, you never once thought that in the beginning that what we're witnessing is a child behind this. It's a huge, shocking reveal when the parents show up and take the mask off, and it's like, wait a minute, what? Like that was a real actual like child that did that, and everything else is just building tension and this atmosphere around it. The first time I watched it in a room full of people. It was like three or four of us. I was probably like in junior high, or maybe like, no, probably like fourth, fifth grade or something like that. And I watched it like in broad daylight, like probably somewhere in the afternoon, and it still freaked me out. It still scared me. The fact that he could hide in plain sight in such a way where always stalking and watching, like that element is what really makes Michael Myers terrifying. It's not always the brutality, even though that's a plus, but the fact that he takes his time, kind of studies you, and he's curious about you and want to know what you're doing and what you're up to, just watches from a distance. And as a viewer, you're totally aware of this. You can see him in the background, he's watching, but he's always taking his time. And that's the part you're building up to this moment, and you're just terrified the entire time. It's what Alfred Hitchcock would say is like, it's not the sound of the bang, it's the anticipation of it that makes
Yes.
it scary. And so that's what John Carpenter did with the very first Halloween. It was basically creating so much tension, and then when he finally strikes, it's terrifying. Like, for a real good example, when Annie is about to go to her her dick appointment for Halloween, I mean, she's thinking about Paul, but Paul. She goes to the car, she tries the door, she got the keys, goes back into the house, still singing, oh Paul. She ready to get the car, opens it up, gets in there, and by the time she notices, it's like, wait a minute. And it's like the windows all fogged up, and she's looking, and then boom, he's right there behind her. Freaks me out to this day. You always look behind your car, the car seat every time you get
Oh
into it.
yeah.
But that's the anticipation of it. He's there and he was watching the entire time, but it's just the whole thing of you're not really paying attention to your surroundings as much as you should. And so that's the thing with Michael. It always made me kind of stay on alert a little bit more. And that's the lasting effect that I think that Halloween has. Always pay attention to your surroundings. So I know number three for me would be Halloween for sure, the original.
Yes.
That's why we
Yes.
need our sight. Once again, that's why we need to be able to see, because these slashes kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, but also, you need to hear because you can see, motherfucker
He's
could be
going
running
hard
up
for that.
behind you.
That's it.
I'm going hard for this for the
You
hearing
are.
Go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
I love it.
now what about you, Lydia? What would be your number three?
My number three goes to Nightmare on Elm Street. 4, the Dream Master. It
Ooh.
is nostalgic for me. It is my favorite kill ever, hands down. Debbie's kill, insect.
Yes.
My
Mm.
favorite kill. And yeah, it's just I love it. It's such a good time, and the fighting scene, and just it's a vibe.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it.
Definitely.
The dream warrior.
The
Yes,
Dream
yes.
Master.
The dream master. The dream master. See,
Yeah.
I'm talking about a whole nother movie. I'm
See,
talking
you
about
on
a whole
3.
nother...
I'm on 4.
The dream master. Yes, yes. Now, I have another question for you guys. Since we're talking slashers, um, if you were in a scenario where a killer was chasing after you, what would be your go-to hiding spot? Like I feel like for me, I'm gonna pick a below the waist cabinet because I can fit in most small spaces, in like a kitchen area, and I feel like I can close the door. Not everybody can close the door, but I feel like I can close the door. So I'm gonna pick a cabinet, in a kitchen type area, and I feel like I probably get away. I probably get away. No one's checking the cabinets. I've never seen like Art or anybody check the cabinets. I feel like I get away. So what about you, Lydia? What would you pick?
I don't know. I feel like I'm looking around to see where's a good hiding spot. I think I would just keep running. I don't know. I'm just like I give up. I suck at hide and seek. I don't know. I'm here.
All right, all right. What about you, Bianca? What hiding spot would you pick?
I'm actually looking around as well. So the first thing that comes to mind is my car because I'm grabbing my keys and getting the up out of there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if we're talking about somewhere in the house, I feel like it would be like, well, I'm small as well, so I'm thinking like a clothing drawer because no one actually like opens like the drawers per se, like in the
Yes.
dresser or something, and I feel like I can fit into one and like be able to like move to the back and like leverage myself so I can like close myself into the drawer. But then I'm like, okay, if I'm doing that, sorry, it's my brain going crazy, by the way. So I'm like, okay, if I'm doing that, that means whatever's in the drawer, I have to take out and throw somewhere, which means I'm like, okay, where would I put it? Because you don't want someone to walk in like, oh, all the socks are on the floor. She must be in that drawer. So
In the
I'm
sock
like,
drawer.
okay, right. So I was like, okay, let's think this through. So I'll probably take it and just throw it into like a closet or something, close the closet door, and then go into that drawer and then hide. So a drawer and a dresser.
But if you keep that dresser empty, you stay ready. You ain't gotta get ready.
Ooh, you're right. Heard you. I'm about to empty out my dresser now.
Yes, yes, yes. It is like as you were talking about it, I'm like, that's actually terrifying to me. Like because
Right.
I'm like, you're in the drawer, you're just listening
Yes.
because you can't see. You're listening, people. So
Here you go.
Because you
Here
can't
we
see.
go. Good.
you're listening, and next thing you know, this motherfucker just smacked the side of the dresser like that. That would be horrifying. Just playing with you. Just playing with you. Just playing with you. Because you know how a dresser will rattle. Just playing with you.
That is actually pretty terrifying.
So yeah, that would definitely be mine. What about you, Angelica? What would be your hiding spot?
Because home invasion was my biggest fear as a child, I actually planned this out. So I was on this, my room was on the second floor, and there was a window that I could crawl out and sit on the roof. So I always thought if someone was to break in the house, I would crawl out that window, sit on the roof, and then wait for them to open the front door. Then I would crawl my ass back in the house, make my
Yes.
bed before I got outside the window, and they would think no one's home. And then when they left, go back in the house, and I would be safe.
So nothing happened.
That's smart because
They
That's
wouldn't.
smart.
I don't think they would think to look on the roof outside the window. You
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Even if, like, let's say if they figured out you were on the roof, you could still kick them off while they trying to
Throw them
climb
out.
up.
Yeah, just kick them in the head. Like when they
Yeah.
stick their head out, just kick it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
Survival.
Nice.
Yes. What about you, Alex? What would be your survival tactic?
It would be under the car. Like
Hmm.
try to get underneath the car. They're always looking for like things that are an eye level, usually. So they'll probably won't even stop to really try to look underneath the cars unless you're like in a parking lot or something. But even still, if you're beneath their eye level or a little bit lower, I think you got a really good chance for sure. I would definitely go for like hiding underneath the car for sure.
See, that's bold because I think like if I was hiding underneath the car and that shit started up all of a sudden, like I don't know what I do.
You can see though,
I-
you can see the move because like you can see, you got that advantage. You can see where they're headed and where they're going next, and then you can make your next move. So if they head over that way, you go the other way.
And that is true. Like you'll get to see how fast Michael Myers is actually moving, or how fast Ghostface is actually moving. And this is and how many Ghostface there actually are. You're like, oh shit, I thought it was one. I thought it was one. It's three. So yeah, I like that answer. I like that answer. What about you, Jupiter? What would be your hiding spot?
I'm a bit like she's psychotic. Again, I mentioned, living alone. I do already have a plan. I also have certain types of legal weapons strategically placed around my house. So, I'm not hiding. I am getting ready to fight. Like, in terms of the hiding, I would usually place myself close to being behind the door. So when someone comes in the room, I have the upper hand. I'm going for the legs. Hopefully I trip you, then I can get behind you and just keep beating on you. So I'm ready. Like, get on. I'm
Nice.
fighting. I'm not
Okay.
hiding. No.
Okay, yeah. She's psychotic, and Jupiter coming with the final girl energy tonight.
Yeah,
Final
I'm
girl
fighting.
energy tonight. Yes. So what about you, Gore? What would be your hiding spot?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same thing behind the door, like pull it crack where it's not closed. So when they come in the room, you close it and just go in.
Go in.
Gotta fight.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Gotta fight a flight. Gotta fight a flight. Gotta definitely fight a flight. Kira says kitchen cabinet. Mike, I'm not hiding. I'm running till I find someone and trip them and start running again.
Like,
Bobby said, check the back seat. I feel you. Definitely got to check that back seat. Kira says a hamper and put clothes on top. I respect it.
That's
because
not bad.
yeah, because who's like, these killers, Jason isn't looking in the laundry. He don't wash his clothes. He's not. Or maybe he does. Maybe I'm
Maybe he does. He washes his jumper.
Yeah, Mike says I must have a small dresser because these drawers ain't even 2 feet.
I can't fit into anything, any of that. Camper, dresser.
But those movies where a motherfucker just paint themselves and they just blend in with the wall, I feel like
I can't.
I feel like that would be a
when
tactic
a stranger
as well.
Calls.
Yeah. I think the
Right?
sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, the sequel. That was creepy.
Mika said, "I'm in the dryer."
That's a good one.
I respect it. Luggage. Kira says luggage. Come on, preparedness. Yes. The roof is a good one. Yes, most definitely. She psychotic is definitely a final girl. Yes, she definitely is. And yes, Mika says, yes, you got to keep beating on them.
Yes, I don't know why they always give them one hit and run. You just go crazy. Think about all the terrible jobs you've had, all the frustration, just go crazy.
Yes. And Michael says, I'm wearing an outfit to blend in with the walls and then dip. That makes me laugh because it's like, are you always wearing outfits that blend in with your surroundings just so you stay ready? Like that would be,
That's next level.
yeah,
Right?
that's next level preparedness. That's next level preparedness. Now we're down to our final two, so I'm going to start it off with Dream Home, which is an international
Ah,
horror film, slasher, very, very very, very like brutal. I
yes.
did not know that I had like a bloodlust for seeing like a woman choke out a pregnant lady, on the just it was very brutal. It's on Shutter if you guys want to check it out. It's also on Amazon as well, to check it out. It's called Dream Home, and it's about a woman. She will literally do anything to acquire her dream home, which is like this condo slash apartment or whatever, and she's saving up all this money, and she'll literally do anything, and it's that's the plot, and anything is stabbing, killing, and slitting throats, and just it's a good time. It's a good
It's Hong
time.
Kong, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
We
I
talked
love it.
about that one before too. It's so good.
Yes, it was so like someone had recommended it to me, and I didn't know what I was getting into, and it's just one of those movies where I'm like, damn, like it's so like the kills were creative. Like we were talking about creative kills earlier, like that. If I see a creative kill, it's going to carry me through. It's going to carry me through. Keep kills creative.
Oh
Keep
yeah.
kills creative. So that's my number two. What about you, Gore? What's your number two?
I went with American Psycho because it just crosses everything off for me, and I like the storyline definitely was just it for me. And then like you're following him along this journey, this whole movie, and he's just going crazy. And then at the end, you're like, is it even real? So that's my number two.
Yes, yes. Now, what about you, Jupiter? What would be your number two?
So, this time I didn't pick a specific movie. I just wrote Freddy. So like I told you guys before we started, I've
Okay.
always had a fascination with dreams. I actually suffer from overly vivid dreams, so I do a lot of THC, a lot of CBD to suppress my dreams. My dreams are always something out of a Tim Burton movie. It's like they're just so really like insane. So I really like that idea of Freddie manipulating dreams. I can really relate to that. Also just that horror kind of comedy, right? Like as much as Freddie's super brutal, he's hilarious. And we love his one-liners. He's, so many one-liners. My favorite personally being "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and that's Dream Warriors. I absolutely love Freddy, so I think that like he kind of brings that element of extreme horror, but at the same time a lightheartedness that we can all really get with. So I just for that one, just Freddy. Um, I kind of did two kind of though, so I wanted to just draw a parallel with Vecna. I know Tyrone, we had spoken about that. Um,
Yes.
what I love about Vecna is, for me, he's just like the sinister, like ruthless version of Freddy, where he has no time to joke. He's just here to kill you. And again, you're in a safe space, which is your mind. That's supposed to be like probably the safest place. No one can penetrate that. And these people attack you where you're the most vulnerable. And I think that Vecna's way of doing it is just such a brutal way. And I just wanted to bring up those two. So they're taking both of them taking my number two spot.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. And shout out to the Vecna. Shout
Oh
out to
yeah.
mentioning Vecna because he did his damn thing. He
I
definitely
love
did
it.
his damn thing. You know. What about you, Alex? What's your number two?
Hatchet.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
I
It,
probably love it.
yeah, it definitely fired off on all cylinders for sure. It felt like a throwback in a time where we still were doing remakes and we were doing a lot of adaptations from like Japanese or Korean horror movies at that time. So when it came out, it was straight away American made like horror films in like the swamps in New Orleans and Mardi Gras. And you have this character that has a backstory. We all know he has a tragic backstory. And he's basically kind of sort of like Jason in a way. So you kind of have that familiar thing about it, but the kills are so unforgettable. It's so over the top and so cartoonish in a way that you're kind of like laughing, but then at the same time too, it's so brutal that it's just like, oh God, what is happening here? And like as the sequels progress, it gets way more over the top each and every time you see them. And yeah, it gives us really cool chase scenes. They're being chased all throughout the bayou. They have a really good body count. There's a final girl. We already have the motive, so everything that we need for a slasher movie, Hatchet has it. It's just that it's times 10, basically.
Yes. And Tony Todd. We've got Tony Todd in the first one too, which I love.
And Kane Hodder as Hatchet himself. You know,
Yep.
Kane Hodder is the man when it comes to special makeup and being these type of characters. He's the man when it comes to that stuff too. I'm a big Kane Hodder fan. When it comes to Friday the 13th, Part 7 is my personal favorite. Like I love all of them, but like my personal favorite, like Part 7, Kane Hodder's introduction as Jason is my personal favorite right there. That's the one when he was fighting the girl with the telekinetic powers and everything. Yeah, the makeup in there was really awesome. So yeah, Victor Crowley, Hatchet, number 2 for me.
Okay.
That was a great pick, man. That was a great pick. What
Solid.
about you? What about you, Lydia? What was your number? Your number 3? Well, your number 2.
Mine-
I'm sorry.
2. Mine goes to Texas Chainsaw from 1974, of course, the
Yes.
original.
Yes.
Yeah, just I'm obsessed with Leatherface. This chainsaws too. Like if you go to a haunted house, like I'm fine, but if a chainsaw comes out, I'm not fine.
It kicks that anxiety up a notch. Like I think we went to like a one of those haunted pumpkin patches, and just some guy, he just ran out with a chainsaw, and it's just like it's something about it. That's why I feel like I need one in the I need one in the bed. I need one in the bedroom because I need one in the bedroom because I feel like I don't want to do too much. I feel like if a motherfucker walk up in the house and try and start something, if I rev up the chainsaw, it ain't like who coming up the stairs after that? Because motherfuckers be like, yo, I got a gun, I got a knife, I got my people up here. But if you hear that bing bing, is you coming up? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Wait,
They have small handheld ones, Tyrone. You should definitely. That's one of my weapons. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little handheld one. They're like under $100. Definitely recommend it.
Oh,
The problem with
wow.
the large ones is you gotta rev it up, so you might
Yeah.
not have time. So I definitely recommend a small handheld.
She
Wait,
stay ready.
Ty, I have a
mentioning
question.
that.
What was that sound again? It makes Ty.
Bing bing. The bing bing. You know? I mean, it's gonna have a little bit more bass.
a little bit.
When just a little bit more bass when the situation arises. But for right now, it's just the bing bing.
Bing, bing.
You know? Just all that's all I need is that bing bing, and a motherfucker will think twice. Think twice. That's all I need you to do is think twice. You know. Now what about you, Bianca? What's your number 2?
So I'm actually with Jupiter. Literally just as Freddy. Just as Freddy. I mean, he's fun, he's awesome, he'll whoop your ass in your dream, he'll whoop your ass in real life. Like he's a great time. And again, we have that brutality, he'll slash you, but then we have the comical aspect of it. And I love how he'll just like pop in and be like, what happened? What happened to you? It's like, what the hell? Like, how'd you get here? And then he'll just like kill you. Like, he's just a great time. I love Freddy. He is my number 2, just Freddy.
Yes, Freddy's. It's a bunch of Fred heads in the building tonight,
Oh, yeah.
so it's understandable. It's definitely understandable. What about you, Angelica? What's your number 2?
So I put Freddie here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jupiter, I have very vivid dreams too. And Freddie, I kind of he reminds me of a sleep paralysis demon. And I used to have sleep paralysis as a kid. So yeah, and he was the first slasher to really scare me as a kid. Something just about not being able to fall asleep. That's just so scary.
All right.
Mhm.
I respect it. I respect it.
I wanted to put Pennywise here too, specifically Bill Skarsgård Pennywise, because the remake is
Yes.
better than the original. Yes, the original is kind of boring and slow to me, but the remake is really good, and the children were so good and funny. I loved it.
The remake, it's top tier horror for me. Like it's pure nightmare fuel. Just what they were able to, at least part one. Part two, there were there were some things that they could have done, that I felt they could have done a little differently. But part one was definitely like top tier. I love
agree.
love Bill Skarsgård, his portrayal. So I have another question for you guys. If you were the slasher yourselves, what would be your weapon of choice? If you were the slashers yourselves. And for me, I feel like mine would be a I feel like it would be scissors. I feel like scissors would be my weapon of choice, But I feel like it would be a combination, It would be I feel like I would wait until you were asleep, and then I would pour ground cinnamon into your mouth and your eyes. Ground cinnamon. And then I would take the scissors and give you a haircut.
Unbelievable.
Okay?
Unbelievable.
That's step 2.
He had too much fun before we started the live.
Unbelievable. Like, what is happening?
Okay. After I give you the haircut, then I make slits all around your body, and then I slit your throat. So when the cops come, when the authorities come, they're like cuts, mouth, cinnamon, eyes, cinnamon. Like who is this? Who is this guy? Like what is? I want to be memorable, people. I want to be remembered.
But what would they call you though?
Just cinnamon.
What would they call you?
The cinnamon slasher. How about that?
The cinnamon slasher.
Yes, the cinnamon slash.
Like, that's it.
The cinnamon slasher.
Cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Yes.
I like that.
What?
The cinnamon slasher.
I smell cinnamon. What's that? We gotta get out of here now.
I'm telling you, you'd be horrified. Because they go to the crime scene, but then they go back home. Their wife is like, "Oh, I made you pancakes. Oh, you made cinnamon pancakes.
What?
You think this is a game? You think this is a game? You know what I went through?
What is happening?
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Cinnamon slash.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. My jaw hurts.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We'll elaborate.
And Mike says Tyrone's weapon is so elaborate. One kill will take the whole movie.
The whole movie.
Right.
It's a slow burn, Mike. Like my movies are slow. It's a slow burn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the cinnamon. Thank you, Rainbow Fright, for joining the chat. Thank you, Rainbow Fright. Now, so what would be your weapon of choice, Lydia?
I mean, I was just gonna say a knife, but well, first I was gonna say machete, but then I was like, no, I feel like a knife is easy to manage, to hold. So kitchen butcher knife, we good to go.
Love it.
No haircuts though.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect. No, but I just feel like they just got to go out in style, and I feel like if they were to do my movie, and it would be like, what's the backstory on this guy? What's the backstory on this guy? You would see me as a kid watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, and you would see Fred giving the haircuts, So I feel like it was a little bit inspired by that and my love of cinnamon, So
Backstory.
yeah,
Wow.
yes, a little bit of backstory. Yes, I. Now, what about you, Bianca? What would be your?
Yo, I don't even know how to go after that. Like, I don't. What the fuck just happened? So I was gonna say a pink nice because pink is my favorite color. But if we're getting elaborate, I feel like I would like switch it up a bit. So I feel like I would like jump out of like a carry-on and just blow like pink sparkly like dust and just like blind the person and then just like cut them up till death because I'm a nurse. So I'm like, oh, I kind of know where to cut. Just cut them up and let them bleed out.
Ooh, ooh.
We got some,
What would be your
berry.
name? Like
Berry.
Clinically, I don't know.
I like that. I like that.
The pink menace, maybe.
The Pink Menace.
The pink menace. I like that.
Okay. I like that. I'm feeling that. What would be your name, Lydia? What would be your name?
Slash. I didn't know we were going this elaborate. Like, I didn't prepare for this. I did not prepare.
Me neither. I came up with that on the fly. No.
I felt like you had that ready. Jane Doe.
What about you, Angelica? What would be your weapon of choice?
Maybe guitar string.
Ooh.
Combine.
That's
Oh
nice.
yeah, combine two of my loves, music and horror. Maybe I could sing them a lullaby while I'm strangling them. Like, go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
The ASMR killer. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Gore, what would be your weapon of choice?
I'm going with an axe. I'm just gonna. We can force.
Yeah, nice.
Straight simple.
I get it. Straight to the point. I respect it. What about you, Jupiter? What would be your weapon of choice?
Well, like Gore, when I used to envision my horror character, I also had an axe. But last summer, I chopped wood for the first time, and axes are very heavy. I do not have the upper body strength to be an axe-wielding murderer. That's just not my thing. So I'll go with what I know. I cook a lot. So maybe some sort of poison or like maybe like it turns people into zombies that do my bidding or something. You eat my food and then you're like one of my zombies, That's what I'll go with.
I like that. I could definitely see like you even having like a reality TV show. Like people are like, oh, I need to get on this show, and then they're turning into zombies and stuff like that. Like that's that's wild. That's wild.
Let's do it.
What about you, Alex? What's your weapon of choice?
I would go with like a pitchfork. Like really big pitchfork, like the one that was in Halloween 5, when he was in the barn with the couple in there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty good scene. That was a pretty good setup and everything. And I always thought that would be a cool weapon that another slasher could use. I always kind of wanted to see a little bit more with that. You know what I mean? I thought it was a pretty interesting weapon of choice at one point. I just never seen too many slasher movies actually incorporate that weapon as much. And I would be basically the pitchfork prowler.
Oh,
yes, the pitchfork prowler.
I had time to think about that since we're coming up with little body.
I like that.
So,
Yes. Yes, I love it. The pitchfork prowler. I'm
The
sold.
pitchforks are brutal. That's what got me hooked on
Yeah.
Pearl today. When I saw her, I'm like, whoa, like they're brutal.
Yeah. And one swing you can do some damage. That's what I love about it. One swing you can do some damage. Yes,
True.
yes. What else? So yeah, we're on our number one now. On our number one. Hi Lord, thank you for stopping by. He said, is cinnamon being used as a weapon, or did I walk in late? Yeah, it's I th- cinnamon is an underrated like weapon of choice. Did you not see the trends like maybe like a couple years ago where like people were doing like cinnamon challenges and stuff like that?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
like, it would fuck you up. It would fuck you up. Especially if I put it in your eyes. What are you gonna rely on? Your ears.
Oh my gosh.
He
This is
is not gonna let that
unbelievable.
go. He's not gonna let it go.
At all.
It's
What
not.
full circle moment is this? Like what? What in the world? Hi.
That worked out perfectly for him.
Your ears.
Oh man.
We're learning things. We're learning things tonight. now, now my number one
Oh my gosh.
is going to be I think it's actually on Netflix right now. It's a found footage, classic. I feel like it's definitely a classic for me. It's called Creep. The yeah, Creep. Yes, it's found footage. It's about a gentleman. He gets hired to be a videographer for this man's life who's sick, and he's like, I need you to film for a couple days for me, and it just goes really south, and it's very fun. It's a fun watch. I highly recommend it to everybody, but there is an axe for the axe lovers. There is
Yeah.
an axe, so I definitely recommend that one. Creep and its sequel as well. Creep 2 make a perfect double feature. They're both like relatively short movies, so I highly recommend it. Yes, Creep. So yes, Gore, what would be your number one?
So number one was Nightmare on Elm Street one. This
Yes.
that was the first, like one of the first horror films I fell in love with. Seeing it as a kid, just the nostalgia of it, everything from Johnny Depp getting murdered in the waterbed. You'll never forget that. So yeah, that's my number one all
Yes,
around.
yes.
It,
I love it.
it
I
was
love it.
all around for me on
Yeah,
Elm Street.
it's iconic. It's definitely iconic. There was nothing I feel like that was the scariest tone of the series,
Yeah.
so it was sometimes I forget like just how like
That's too.
frightening it is.
Yeah, just watching Tina go up and not knowing what's going on. She's dreaming. So that was one that got me too. So overall, that one covers it.
Yes, yes. Love it. Love it. Great choice. Great choice. What about you, Jupiter? What's your number one?
So I struggled with my number one. I had Pinhead and I also had Candyman. Ultimately, I decided to go with Candyman. I think Tyrone and we've discussed this very, very deeply. This was the first horror movie that I watched. Um, I remember the VHS. My sister and I were just learning to read. I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was like, "Oh, mommy, we want to watch Candyman." And she's like, "This is not for kids." But we're like, "Yeah, but it's Candyman. Like, of course it's for kids." And my mom, being as crazy and sadistic as she is, finally, like, we just were hounding her, and she's like, "You know what? I'll let them watch it." So the movie really traumatized me. So for one, like, it really stuck with me, and I find it's very scary. And it's scary on so many levels. And I always like to talk about this setting of Cabrini Green projects because it's a scary place to begin with, right? The projects, if I've watched a lot of documentaries about various projects in the United States, the gangs run those places. There's murders, there's rapes. It's a very, very scary place to begin with. So already putting you in that setting, you're scared to begin with, right? And it's grimy, it's dirty, so I really like that. And then, Candyman as well. He's this figure that is killing people. However, if we look at it on a deeper level, he can be a representation of other things that kill people in the Black community. You know, already you're poor, and he's this figure that's on top of, you know, the poverty that you're living in, your surroundings. So Candyman to me represents so much. And also he's just like the figure of Candyman. He's has a certain elegance. He has a certain sex appeal. To me, he's almost like a Dracula, like a Black Dracula. He's hypnotizing.
Yes.
And the voice, I'll never forget that parking lot scene with the Helen, Helen. Like his voice has like almost like a frequency moving through you. So you see her being hypnotized by him, and you're hypnotized as well. You feel like if this figure was in front of you, you would just succumb to whatever this figure wants you to do or will do to you. You're powerless, right? He's just hypnotizing. So ultimately, I decided to take Candyman as my number one, and proud of it.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. What about you, Alex? What would be your number one?
My number one would be Psycho. Anthony Perkins, Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. That's the one that I think really kicked the whole genre into where we are, where we're talking about it now. Honestly, with Norman Bates, for sure, for sure. The psychology of it all. You know, we have the motive, but we get it towards the end. There's this really good twist. But the impact of Psycho, like for a lot of us, you're still kind of scared to take a shower by yourself sometimes, because there's always that feeling of vulnerability that someone could just like come in and just, you know, stab you a bunch of times. It's crazy. Psycho definitely kicked open the door for much more serious, much more human killers. Because in the 50s it was all sci-fi stuff. It was all monsters and all, you know, something that was radioactive or an alien or something that was a regular animal but just grew to like this huge enormous size, and the Blob and all that stuff. And then when Psycho hit, that was when we started to have a actual person be a killer, you know, because you know, from Dracula and Frankenstein, these were monsters and creatures. Like Norman Bates is the guy who runs this motel, you know what I mean? So that's something that was kind of new at the time. And what he would do whenever he saw a pretty blonde woman, like that was what he would go after. And so it kind of started that whole craze of slasher movies. And it kind of was the prototype for a lot of those things. Definitely number one on my list is Psycho. I could watch that right now and it still is just as suspenseful, well crafted, really good twists and turns. The ending, I'm sorry, I don't know anyone who actually thought that they had it all figured out. It really definitely takes you for a ride. You think you know what's going on, then you find out you don't. And then when you really find out what's going on, it's just like, wow, that's wow. Okay, and it makes you want to watch it again to see if you could piece it together. And honestly, the sequels are underrated as hell. Psycho 2, Psycho 3, those are really good too, in my opinion. But yeah, number one for me on my list is Psycho, the OG.
The OG, just the way it was shot, you know, the story, you know, like the twists. It's just it's a ride. Even now, like watching it over, it's still a ride, you know. And it's a lot of people and stories have borrowed from it. You know, its DNA is everywhere. You know, Psycho was definitely made it smart. Definitely made it smart.
Yeah.
And what about you, Angelica? What would be your number one?
So Psycho was number one for me too.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the shower scene definitely was one of the most influential kills in the horror genre, I feel like.
Exactly.
And with how censorship was then, how they pulled it off,
Right.
it was, really good. It was perfect. It gave me goosebumps. Like the way it was shot, like the knife never hit her, but you could feel it. You could feel it happening without seeing it. And Alfred Hitchcock is a master at suspense, definitely.
Wow. Crazy. So if you guys, if anyone hasn't seen Psycho, and I'm sure everybody's seen Psycho, but see it again.
Just even the tension building, like with her driving in the rain and the music,
Right.
like
Right.
rising.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that you guys mentioned the shower because I'm always like I feel so vulnerable in the shower because of that
We all
movie. Like I'm
do.
always looking,
We
you're
all
wet,
do.
you're naked. It's the worst place that something terrible could happen.
Exactly.
Oh, it's nothing like taking a shower and you're home alone and you're hearing random noises and you're just like, what was that? What was that? Because I if somebody walk in, like I'm done. I'm done.
Right?
You
Not,
know.
I've cut a couple showers short because I'm like I'm hearing too much stuff. Like this is crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. You know. Random sounds of the house. Random sounds of the house. You know. And also if you guys haven't checked out Alfred Hitchcock Presents, you know,
Yep.
because that's also amazing, especially if you're super into suspense. You know, it's
Yes.
definitely an amazing show to check out.
Yep.
So Bianca, what would be your number one?
I mean, it goes without saying. Halloween, 1978. I mean,
Yes,
I
yes.
love my man. I don't know what to tell you. I stand beside him. Like, that's just really it. Like, when you know Big Mike is in the scene, it's up and it's stuck.
Big
That's
Mike.
it. Like, Big Mike has arrived. I mean, he's just the gift that keeps on giving. I love him. Like, again, it's yes, we love the brutality, all the jazz, great, but it's just knowing that someone is watching you all the time. Like, when did you get into my car? When did you pop? Like,
Right.
he's just creepy. He is, he's a force. He's an essence. Like, he's literally the embodiment of evil. And like, I just Halloween, Michael Myers. That's it. Shamelessly, he
No,
always be number one for me.
listen. It's a classic. It's a
Yeah,
classic.
definitely.
You know, I have one question for you though.
What's
Who
up?
taught him how to drive? Who taught him how to drive?
We're not gonna worry about that. It's Big Mike, okay? It's Big Mike. He does everything,
Because
okay?
he was whipping. I'm like, who?
I mean,
You
I
know,
Oh
watched the
multiple
yeah.
movie. Yeah,
movies. You know,
yeah,
he
I
was
definitely
whipping
saw
it.
that, and I was like, oh, since when? But it's
You
okay.
know,
It's okay.
even I'm hitting the curb. I got curb
No,
rash
his
on my
driving is
tires,
pretty
but
top
Mike
notch.
is out
Yes.
here whipping it. You know, so I'm like, who taught him how to
Like,
drive?
no, he's the force. He's the essence. It will always be Michael Myers number one for me.
Yes, yes, I respect it. I respect it. Now, what about you, Lydia? What's your number one?
Well, as basic as it might seem,
Scream.
I have to go with Scream. Scream is, I can literally watch Scream every single day and not get tired of it. I love the whole franchise. It means a lot to me. It was the first horror movie I saw in theater. I was 9 years old and I remember it like it was yesterday. It's, yeah, it's just,
Oh, same.
it's a classic.
Me too.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, shit. Scream was probably like the first horror movie that I had seen in the theaters, like
Yeah.
slasher, at least
Yeah,
in the theaters. Damn, that was a time. That was a
yes.
time.
We
Yeah.
telling our age, y'all.
It's all right. It's all right. We there with it. We there with it. You
If they
know.
watch Prom Night, they'll save time. It's the formula to
Yes, full formula.
everybody's a suspect.
Yes, and it's like the most quotable movie too. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yes. Now, that's our list. You know, thank y'all. We made it. We made it. Looks like we made it to
Yo,
through
you you have to be stopped. Like,
through
you
all.
have to be stopped. You have to
I'm
be
gonna
stopped
if
at
you're
this
singing,
point.
I'm gonna dance. I got you.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I don't want to break out the usher. They might flag me. Shut the video down. Shut the video down if I start singing Usher. You know. But yeah, thank y'all for rocking out with me tonight. This was amazing.
Thank
You know,
you.
I'm very proud of everyone's list. You know, I know we were compiling and taking off and oh, what if this person get this, or but we all came through. We all came through with some heavy hitters tonight, which was really, really appreciated. And I got to it's another night that I get to, kick it and chop it up with the horror community. I love and admire each and every one of you guys. Like, you guys are doing your thing, and I'm uh it's like I'm lurking from the shadows, like, oh, this person doing this. This is cool. That's cool. That's cool. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody in the comments for kicking it, tonight as well. Cray Dre, thank you for stopping by. Kira, Mika, thank you for stopping by. Dan and Horror, thank you. Thank you. Rainbow Fright, thank you. Trees, thank you. Bobby, Wes, everybody, Michael, both Michaels, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Jaleesa, of course. I cannot not mention Jaleesa. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody, Mark, if I missed you, I apologize because it was the chat was jumping tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yes, that's been, and I before we close out, I just want to give everybody a chance to talk about what they got going on. So Lydia, we'll start with you. What you tell the people what you got going on, Lydia?
I got sleep. No, I'm just playing. Well, I'm like I said, I don't know if everyone heard, but I just moved back to the States about 3 months ago, so I'm still trying to get adjusted, and I'm in school and I'm about to start a new job and stuff, but I did a screen review, and I told on my video that I was going to start doing a screen ranking, the opening scene rankings, ghost face ranking. So that's my plan for the next few weeks on my YouTube
Yes.
channel.
Yes. So tell them where to follow you. Tell them where to follow you.
Oh, well, Mama Monster here on YouTube, or Mama Monster, or Mama underscore Monster underscore 87 on Instagram. TikTok too, but I haven't been active since I was moving and stuff. But yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you for joining us tonight. What
No,
about
thanks
you,
for having me.
Alex? Oh yes.
Oh, well, a new episode of Horror Flicks and Chill. I'm gonna be reviewing Halloween Resurrection, actually. To celebrate halfway to Halloween. We're about 5 or 6 months till October, so we're halfway to Halloween. So I think it's safe to say that the next review would be probably one of the most controversial ones. That's not Halloween Ends. Um, Halloween Resurrection is controversial. Either you like it or you don't. But I particularly like it, and I'm gonna talk basically in defense of Halloween Resurrection and everything that it was. So that's going to be coming up very soon. I've been under the weather for a while, but I'm feeling a lot better. So that's going to be in the works very soon. And I'll let everyone know when it's up and it's ready.
Oh yes.
Can't wait.
And where can we follow you, Alex?
Horror Flicks and Chill on Instagram and on YouTube as well. And
Yes.
it's Arson 13 on TikTok.
Yes. Make sure you check it out. Some amazing content. And what about you? She's psychotic. Angelica. What about you?
I'm working on a few cosplays. The one I'm most excited for is Akasha from Queen of the Damned. I'm gonna do her.
Love that.
I'm excited to do that. And I'm writing a murder mystery for the horror community.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm gonna have them solve my murder. And I'm gonna do a giveaway at the end. Tyrone's involved in that one. It's almost
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm writing it. So it's coming together. Should be fun. I'm excited.
I can't wait. And tell where they can follow you at.
She's psychotic on Instagram. She's underscore psychotic.
Yes. Make sure you follow some amazing content. Always consistency. Always. What about you, Bianca? Spooky Melanin Magic.
Yeah, so I just got back from Jordan. I was actually in Jordan for almost 2 weeks. So I just got back a couple of days ago. So I'm going to be back to posting my paranormal content, my travel content, start wrapping up or gearing up, I should say, for the fall. Going to start creating itineraries again. Yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Yes. And where can the people hit you up?
Yes.
Bianca?
You can find me on Instagram as Spooky Melanin Magic or my website, www.spookymelaninmagic.com.
Yes. And if you heard it right, people. She's got spooky itineraries. So wherever
That's so
you
cool.
are, she
I got
knows the
you.
places. So she got you.
I got you. Thank you.
What about you, Jupiter? Tell them about yourself.
Yeah, similar to She's Psychotic, I have some cosplays coming up. I just want to say I'm so excited for your Akasha. That is like one of my favorite movies, Queen of the Damned. So I'm really excited to see that. So I'm working for myself now full time, so I have a lot more time on my hands. If you guys follow me on Instagram from Jupiter with Love, you guys will see I've been pushing out the cosplays and the stuff. So I kind of like to keep my stuff under wraps and surprise you guys, but I just got a nice Amazon order, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. So make sure you're following me from Jupiter with Love on Instagram.
Yes, yes, love it, love it. She's always coming with the fun, amazing content, always. And what about you, Gore? What tell the
Um,
people a little bit about yourself?
yeah, well, I'm also just getting moved back home. I moved away for a little bit, so I'm settling in right now. We're actually like moving as we speak. So we're doing that and just smoothing out things with life. So with that, I'm getting more of my cosplays organized, and like like I usually like to keep my things, like all, to myself. But one that I'm excited that I'm working on is going to be a Book of Bloods cosplay from Clive Barker. So that's
Wow.
something I just reread it, and so I'm kind of like, oh, I want to do something different. So yeah, I'm just planning
Very
everything.
original.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. I love it.
He's one
I
of my
love it.
favorites.
Yes, yes. And where can the people find you? Where can the people find
um, just IG Gore etc. Gore dot
you?
etc.
Yes, yes. Make sure you following everybody. Everybody's just
Yes.
so awesome, so awesome. But yes, this has been another episode of Evil Live. I'm your host, the Evil Tyrone. If you have not, make sure you hit that like button, to help us out in the algorithm. And make sure you drop a comment. Let us know, how you like the show tonight. And make sure you're following everybody and, checking up because everybody's got some exciting stuff in the future. Next weekend, ladies and gentlemen, another live, another discussion. I have not announced it yet, but another discussion is going down Friday night, 7. No, not Friday. There's another live Friday, but then there's another interview Friday, then there's another discussion on Saturday. So, and I will be sober for that discussion. So, yes. Yes, yes, because that, yeah. So, yes. But yes, thank you everybody for kicking it with us. That's been another episode of Evil Live. And as always, peace, love, and horror. Make it safe. Make it home safe, everybody. Make it home safe.